On this bumpy road brew day, I'll be brewing another New England IPA out of my Late to Work series. So this New England IPA is called Losing Time with Friends. It's got the same malt bill as my other New England IPA, Wicked Late to Work. This one has actually a little bit more Maris Otter in it, just because I noticed an efficiency issue. So I had to lower my efficiency level, and then to get it to the proper ABV that I was looking for, I would have to add more malt. So I chose to add probably about half a pound more of Maris Otter, just hoping that I can get some more of that kind of bready, biscuity notes into the malt base. This one also has different hops. Most of the hop selection was chosen by Thrash Metal Homebrew. So it does have more hops going into this one. I'm going to be dry hopping with a bit more, just hoping to get more aromas out of it. And there's a little bit more going into the Whirlpool as well. But I have a total of 15 ounces of hops that are going into this 5 1/4 gallon batch. The hops that will be used, I'll try to get different ones because I do have, there's 4 different hops that are going into this, so I'll just show you the 4 difference. There's multiple ounces of each. Alright, I do have the hot liquor heating up on the stove right now, so I do my inside like hot liquor, do my mashing inside, and then I do the actual boil, the brewing outside. So anyways, the hops that are going to go into this, I do have Amarillo, Citra, Eldorado, and Zythos. So most of these say that they're going to be citrusy, tropical, fruity, citrus, tropical, fruity, citrus, floral. So pretty similar notes I should be getting out of it, but hopefully it's citrus, tropical, fruity, maybe a touch of floral. We'll see. But the malt bill anyways, I'll run over that. It is going to be 75% of the Maris Otter. It's going to be 11.7% flaked oats, 10% white wheat malt, and 3.3% carapils. I said total of 15 ounces of hops going in. Oh, just lost a hop bag. I'll have to find that one later. Let's see here. We got about 3.5 ounces of Zythos that will be going into the steep or the Whirlpool. 2.5 ounces of Eldorado going into the steep. 2.5 ounces of Citra going into the steep, and 2 ounces of Amarillo in the steep. And then we'll dry hop when this reaches high Krausen during fermentation with the 1.5 of Zythos, 1.5 of Eldorado, and 1.5 of Citra. Got my Smack Pack London Ale 3. So I just took that out of the fridge and smacked it. So that should be nice and ready to go by the time this brew day is coming to an end and I can pitch the yeast. Alright, now it's just time for me to mill the grains and measure out my brewing salts and really get this brew day a-rolling. The mill that I use is the Barley Crusher. So I attach the drill to the crank arm there, and what happens is when you put all the grain in, you got the 2 rollers down there, operate the drill, and it will pull the grain through and crush it. So you can set this to different widths inside there. This one seems to give me a good consistent crush, and yeah, it's got little teeth on it, so it just kind of tears apart the husk a little bit, but you don't want to make it into flour. Alright, so this is what the crush looks like. It's got some good husk material still there. This is going to help create a nice bed. Reason why you don't want it all pulverized is because it's going to make this, when you mash, it would just make this a big cement block, and chances are you're going to end up with a stuck sparge. So you want to leave the husk material in there to help keep the surface kind of porous, so liquids can still run through it, and it's not just a big cement block. So it's a good crush right here. It's got some of the flowers and stuff, innards of the grain, and you got broken up husk that will create a nice bed. All right, so looking at my screen here, this is Beersmith 3.1.8 or whatever it is, but the brewing water that I am trying to accomplish is for a full-bodied yellow water profile. So basically I want it to be more malt forward. With this being a New England IPA, I don't want the hops to come off as bitter, so I want more of that malty sweetness to kind of come through with the hops and not have it just be super bitter. So I'm going to be using calcium chloride pellets. So that's one of the things that's going to go into this. Epsom salt. And this is just based off of my water profile that I have. It's my tap water, so I have all that put into my system. But I also have gypsum or calcium sulfate going in. So yeah, looking for a good full-bodied or malty, malt-forward water profile for a light beer for this. I'm going to measure those out now. Alright, so I just mashed in with all the crushed Maris Otter, white wheat malt, and the carapils. Now it's time to throw in the flaked oats. Throw this on top, try to keep them kind of towards the top of this. This is a kind of thick mash. I just temped it. It was at 156 Fahrenheit, shooting for 154. Can't open this damn thing with one hand. Just go ahead and dump in the oats on top, and I'll give that a little stir. Whatever. But yeah, so this is mashing in. You get the water temperature up to where you want it to be, and then you let it sit for a long time. It smells a lot like oatmeal right now. Okay, so my mash in is going good. It's just resting now for an hour. It's around 156, shooting for 152, but hey, a little bit of a fuller body won't be bad. But yeah, my pH is right around that 5.3, 5.34 without adding any extra acids. So the just using the brewing salts and stuff has gotten my pH right where it needs to be. Alright, so I got some of my outside stuff set up, hooked up my water hose, got that all ready to go, so when I'm done mashing, down to like the last 20 minutes of the mash before I do my first runoffs, and then I will do a batch sparge with the second amount of water. So not ready to boil yet. Still got a little bit of time to go, but I do like to get something set up. So I do have my propane tank hooked up to my Bayou Classic burner for the boil, and about to have my first beer of the day. So first beer of the day on a home brewing day is homebrew. So right here in the lighting is gonna keep on getting all weird and stuff, but this is teleporter. So it's my American porter, or a robust porter style. It's very good. It's 5.8%. It's roasty, toasty, chocolatey, and we're getting dark again. Screw this. All right. And I probably didn't mention also that on this brew day, it is the coldest day so far of the season. It's 28 degrees outside, so it'll be a nice chill day out here. It's not too bad. I mean, breeze a little bit, but anyways, cheers. Yeah, not bad. You get some of the roasted malts in there, roasted barley, which is typically in a stout, but I throw it in my teleporter recipe. A little bit chocolatey, a little bit of bittering finish. Not too bad though. It's kind of a little more bitter than balanced, but not over the top. Kind of on the earthy tone. So it's not bad. Not a bad beer. Cheers. Right, so we are outside, bringing this up to a boil now. It came out to 7.5 gallons. It was supposed to have a starting volume of 7.71. It's not too bad there. Getting up to that boiling temp, just about. I got my mash tun all cleaned out already. A little bucket over here, throw my spoon in. Let me tell you, when you are running water, oh, yep, it froze up again. When it's 28 degrees out and you get some on the deck and stuff, it becomes ice. So it's a fun time to brew out in the cold. Trying to keep this thing just kind of running a little bit so it doesn't freeze, because I'll have to use it when I. There we go. When I have to. When I have to chill the wort, which it shouldn't take too damn long tonight. All right, and other numbers. Let's talk about the volume. The post-mash or pre-boil gravity was supposed to be a 1058. It came out to a 1053, so a little bit low. I could just boil it for a bit longer and hopefully bring up the original gravity. If it's not going to reach the original gravity, usually it won't if it's off on the pre-boil. So the pH runoff for the mix between both sparges there, the first mash in and the batch sparge, came out to a 5.48. So that's right within the pH range that I wanted it. Basically now, yeah, just sit around for an hour before I have to let this thing cool down to, I'm going to bring it down to about 170 Fahrenheit. I'll throw in the all the hops there and let it rest for half an hour. It's going to definitely chill quick. So maybe I'll start at 180 because it's going to drop. But anyways, catch you when it's later on in this boil. Okay, so we are back, about to do my steeping. I've been letting this just drop by itself because the temperatures outside are now 25 degrees. It's down to about 190. By the time I get the hops into the basket here and give it a little stir, it's probably going to be around 180, and I'll let it go for that half an hour. So I got all the hops except for the Amarillo, which I'm just going to open up out of the pack because that's 2 ounces of Amarillo. But it's the Zythos, 3.5 ounces of that, 2.5 ounces of Citra, 2.5 ounces of the El Dorado. It's going to go into the basket here. Hopefully it all makes it in the basket. All right. And then you just gotta open up this bag. This is hard to do with only one person and one hand to operate things, but doing it.
Okay, so as you can see, all the hops are basically on top there. I gotta get that all stirred in. Just gotta mash that down a little bit here. It's a lot of hops all in at one time. Basket doesn't even reach down into the kettle fully here with the volume I have at this moment. So just pour some stuff here and squish this down in and let this ride for half an hour once it gets in. I think I'm going to actually take the hop basket off of the swish that around in there. Get all that hoppy goodness in the mix. All right. Hopefully it doesn't tip over. I don't think it will. But we'll just let it kind of sit in here like this for half an hour, and the temperature will gradually lower on its own. So right now it's around 186, 188 degrees. Throw the lid on top. Just let that soak there, steep for 1/2 hour. Okay, so here is what the final numbers, or not the final numbers, it's not fermented yet, but the final numbers of the Brewday anyways. Yeah, it was post-mash gravity was supposed to be a 1058, came out to a 1053. I was a little bit shy. It was supposed to be 7.71 gallons of pre-boil. I was at a 7.5. The estimated batch size was supposed to be around a 5.25 gallons. I came out to maybe a little bit under 5 gallons, but I just put in 5 gallons. It was just below the 5 gallon line. Estimated original gravity was a 1072, and my measured original gravity is at a 1072. So at least that came out right. Won't know what the final gravity is until it's done fermenting, but should be around a 7.1 to a 7.2 ABV anyways, depending on where that final gravity goes to. It should be around a 1018. So this is the brew, just sitting there. I pitched the yeast and everything already. Just going to keep it out because the in-house temperature is going to be right around the fermentation range. The temperatures I want around 66 to 68. I will cover this up with a little towel or something just to keep light off of it. But yeah, just wait for it to start to ferment. Once it goes into high krausen, I will be dry hopping it. So pretty good brew day overall, being a very kind of cold day, but numbers a little skewed here and there, but the gravity at least is looking positive. So smelled really good too with all the hops. When I pulled the hop basket out, it was pretty potent in the aroma. So that's nice. Cheers. Thank you all for watching this brew day.